All right, recording this thing. All right, let's get some recognition done here before we got a couple of the Team Boom emerging leaders that are going to share their top tip and one thing that's had like the biggest impact on their growth personally or the business or just something that had like created a big shift for them. So let's get through Success Club recognition. These are the coaches that have Success Club 10 or above. We got Denise Brown with 10, Michelle Rasuti, Kim Williams, Jenny Dollinger, Megan Smiley, Teresa Versetto, and Andrea Wallace. With 11, we got Jessica Planchon. With 12, we got Morgan Brakenberry, Allison Squires, Krista Ladd, Lori Sanderson. With 14, we got Emily Bachlet. And with 14, we got Chris Bachlet. With 17, we got Eddie Cristofano, who I believe is officially going to be a diamond coach tomorrow. And he did that in like 60-something days, which is a brand new Team Boom record, fastest the diamond rank. I think it was like 63 or 64 days, which is pretty impressive. With 17 points, we got his coach, Caroline Nathan. And with 18, we got Amy Reelman leading the squad. All right. With coaches that sponsored multiple coaches during the week of October 15th through the 21st, these coaches sponsored 2 coaches during that time. Tyler Smith, Rebecca Macias, Michelle Phillips, Kristen Coyne, Hannah Tig, Erica Kinsella, Eddie Cristofano, Crystal Buskirk, who's going to share with us tonight, Amy Knowles, and myself with 5. And those are all people that were in my 21-day challenge that just ended. And some of them decided they wanted to do the business. 5 of them decided they definitely wanted to become coaches because they loved Shakeology. I think one thing I do in my 21-day challenges is educate people on the food that's in Shakeology and what that food does for all the different systems of your body. So not only do they feel the effects of the benefits of Shakeology, but they also know the research behind it. So they're more likely, I think, to definitely stick with Shakeology day after day after day and sign up for the discount. And then some of them decide they want to do the business as well, which is cool. All right. How about the top 20 personal volume points? And as far as like how I educate my clients in the 21-day challenges, on my YouTube, that interview I did with Darren O'Lean, the creator of Shakeology, on my YouTube channel, I have that broken down into like one small video for each question that I asked them. So I post one of those videos every once in a while throughout the 21-day challenges. And I just ask them to comment on that. When I post a video, I ask them to comment with like one of their top takeaways from the video, just so I know that they're watching it. All right. Personal volume points. So for anyone that doesn't know what this personal volume point recognition is, every week I post the coaches that have the top 20 coaches that have the most personal volume points. And personal volume points come from your personal orders and your customer orders. So these are the coaches that had the most volume during the week of October 15th through the 21st. With 270, we got Catherine Milner, David Mastra Giacomo, Lori Sanderson, Charlotte Goldbach, Kim McDonald, Morgan Brakenberry, Jenny Fritz, Carrie Martabano, Mindy Clark, Whitney Burdine, Caroline Nathan, myself, Jeff Leese, Chelsea Cata, Amy Morgan, Cami DeCiccio. With over 300, we have Allison Squires, Taryn Brubaker, Rhonda Shute, Craig Benner, and at the top of the list with 430 volume points in 1 week, Terry Bachlet. Killing it. All right, so that's the recognition. So There's five. I got five of the kind of up and coming rock stars on Team Boom that aren't diamond yet, but actually, I think Sarah Olinsky's a diamond, right? Yeah, she is. Cool. I think the rest are going to be diamond probably very soon, which is cool. So let's start with Sarah. I asked each of them to kind of share like maybe their top tip for a new coach or just a coach in general, and then one thing that's had the biggest impact on their business. So is Sarah on the call?
I am, yeah.
Awesome. All right, Sarah, we'll start with you.
Okay, cool. So my biggest tip, I talked about it on the team call that I did a few weeks ago, is to not be scared of, recruiting coaches and talking about the coaching opportunity. I think that, a lot of coaches shy away from it. They think just challengers are the way to go, which is great. I mean, you need your challengers, but I think it's just incredibly important to talk about the coaching opportunity. I talk about it all the time, and it's not, I don't post, I have posted like the help wanted or those kinds of posts before, but mainly it's talking about the lifestyle because that's what attracted me. Like last night, I was on a Zoom call with my success partner, Francesca, and we screenshotted it, and then I talked about the friendships that I've made. I was in Florida like 2 months ago or a month ago and met up with my coaches that are there and talked about it. And I've had people reach out like, they want those friendships. So that's a big draw for people too. They see the community and they want to be a part of it.
So the thing that attracted you when you say like the lifestyle of being a Beachbody coach attracted you, it's like the biggest thing about the lifestyle was just kind of surrounding yourself with a bunch of really positive people that are also into fitness and nutrition.
Yep. Yeah.
That's great.
Definitely. I mean, obviously, the financial part of it is huge too. But that's not even like really in my sights right now because I'm still focusing on, building the team and all that. So just don't be afraid to invite to that. I talk about it all the time. I'm inviting to coaching opportunity all the time. I have a coach sneak peek that's constantly open that I plug people into every month. So
can you explain what a coach sneak peek is?
Yeah. So in my team, we have it's 5 days. Every day we talk about a different topic, financial, what a challenge group is, how to run those or what we do in those challenges. We talk about like the different workout programs and just, answer people's questions, how to get started, that kind of thing. So we run those the third Monday of every month. And then I leave the posts up for the remainder of the time. And then again, on the next third Monday of the next month, I'll take those posts down and then restart it and recycle them. And I leave everybody in there. So they're seeing those posts pop up at least once a month. And I've had people who weren't quite ready like 3 months ago, but they came to me and they're like, okay, I'm ready now. So
you just keep the same group and just repost the same 5 posts.
Yeah. And I'm adding new people. So they're seeing there's new people being added, but
right.
The people who were in them like a couple months ago, they're seeing it again. So,
and then they might be ready the third time to watch the same videos.
Right.
That's kind of cool. But they get to see like the new people that come in that are excited about this opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause they introduce themselves. And so, that pops up in people's feeds also. So
that's great. So it's 5 days and you post one video a day, like one video about maybe that talks about the financial opportunity, one that talks about what we do in our challenge groups. What are the other videos?
And I talk about my why.
Okay.
And then, I can't remember now, but I can post my format in the groups.
Cool. Sweet. Do you mind just quick share like where you're from and how long you've been a coach?
Yeah. So I'm in Mansfield, Texas, so just south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I've been a coach since February.
Awesome. Cool. And who's your coach?
Amy Reelman.
Nice. Good deal. All right. So your top tip would be don't be afraid to present the business opportunity before they do a challenge group. Because a
Right.
lot of times some coaches, they feel more comfortable getting people into a challenge group,
Mm-hmm.
and then once they've gone through a challenge group, then talking to them about coaching. But you're not afraid
Right.
to jump right to the business opportunity, because that's why you got into it. You got into the coaching opportunity without doing a challenge group.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just going to chime in on that because Sarah said to me, I asked her why it is easier for her to do that. And that's one reason is because that's the way she came in, but she feels more comfortable sharing a business opportunity with people and inviting them to learn a way to make money as opposed to asking people to buy something from her. So that's kind of the way that Sarah looks at it, which I never really looked at it as much that way. I honestly do enroll a lot of coaches right off the bat with a challenge pack. I prefer to do it as that as well, as opposed to wait through a challenge. But when she told them, we also talked about some ways that she can still do people right in a challenge right off the bat if they're not interested in the coaching. But
Yeah.
how she put it, and that was why she thought that way.
That's great. What's your Instagram? So if people wanted to like see kind of what you post.
Yeah. It's at Sarah O Fitness.
Sarah O.
With an H.
With an H, yeah.
Sarah with an H, O Fitness.
Yep.
All right. So what about maybe like the one thing that's had like the biggest impact, or something that created the biggest shift in your mindset or your belief?
And this one's hard for me because I came in knowing that I was going to make it work. There wasn't an option to not make it work.
Nice.
It's just, I've seen other multi-level marketing companies. Like my mom actually was involved with Advocare for 10 years. She was more on the discount side, but I saw the business side of it, and it was never appealing to me. But then I saw the structure with Beachbody, and it was a lot different. So as far as like a mind shift, I don't know. I just, of course I have hard months and do it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have hard months, and it's not always easy, but there's no going back. I'm doing it, and it's going to work, and that's all there is to it. So,
And that's the way it's going to be.
yeah.
That's great. Why do you think, like, what did you see about this business model, about Beachbody or about network marketing, that you just knew like there was going to be difficult times, but it's inevitable you're going to have success with it? Like, why did you kind of come in with that mindset? Is that like how you are with everything in life, or is that something you just kind of knew about this business model?
I don't know. I mean, because honestly, this is when I told people this is what I was doing, they were like, "You're doing what? Like, you're the shy girl that like never talked in high school and just always, I was in the back of the classroom." And so talking to people and reconnecting with people is way out of my comfort zone. But when I saw that others who were talking about, they're big introverts and, but they're able to make connections like just via social media, and I'm more comfortable doing that. It's not face to face. If you asked me to go out and like sell something to somebody, I'd be like, oh, heck no, I'm not doing that. So,
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a clear answer for the mind shift. It just is, it's there. And, obviously there's things that help, like personal development, and I think with personal development though, it's important to find something that speaks to you. I know we have, we hear like, the GoPro and Compound Effect, and while those are great, I think it's important to find something that, something that you're struggling with. Read a book about that,
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Applause.
Yay, Sarah.
Bye, everybody that's muted. Thank you, Sarah. I don't know if you're going to be able to stick around. I know you got some stuff to do, but I'll open it up for questions for everybody at the end.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to cook dinner, but I'll have the video on. So.
All right, cool.
All right. Thanks.
Great. All right. How about from Skinny Atlas, New York, Ashley Coyne? So Ashley, do you want to just share like where you're from, even though I already told everybody, and kind of how you got into the business first?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley. I'm originally from Skinny Atlas, but I currently live outside of Boston in Hudson, Massachusetts. And I got involved. I was friends with Annie on Facebook, and we were not friends in high school, but we went to the same high school, and I saw all of her posts for about a year and a half, seeing her consistently posting, and finally I was like, okay, I'm just going to check out what this whole Shakeology thing's about, kind of see what it is. So I actually reached out to her about the opportunity. Then, of course, she reeled me in with the challenge pack, and it sounded great, and I loved the group, and kind of just went from there.
Awesome. So when did you do that first challenge group, and then when did you become a coach?
So actually almost a year ago. So the beginning of November 2014, I did a challenge group, and then December 2014, I became a coach.
Awesome. So there's always like 2 start dates for a coach most of the time. It's like the date that they signed up, and then the date that they actually are like, all right, I'm going to do this. Was there 2 dates for you? You just told us the coach when you signed up.
Yep, there was. So I was always, pretty much since right when I got into the challenge group, I was pretty into it, and I liked the idea of, becoming a coach. And so I was excited from the beginning, but I don't think I actually truly understood what the full potential of this business is, what it could do for me, for others, until I went to Summit. And that's when my belief completely changed. I think before Summit, I was kind of excited about it, but I wasn't outwardly excited about this opportunity, if that makes sense. I was a little bit timid talking to people. I didn't have that full belief. And then I went to Summit, and I just saw how the possibilities that this has, it's completely endless. And Summit gave me I think it inspired me, gave me that passion, and it made me want to kind of share that more. So I think that after Summit is when my energy changed, my posts started to change, and people that I was interacting with could feel that. They knew I was excited about it, which made them excited. How can you expect someone to want to join a group that you're not even really, really into? So I think kind of changing what I was putting out helped my business.
Awesome. So what would be your top tip to a coach?
My top tip I would say would be
Summit.
What?
Other than get to Summit.
Yeah, obviously, other than get to Summit, would be to just get started right away. Don't wait until you learn everything, because there's a million different ways to do everything. So I'd say just jump right in. There's really no point in being in training groups, watching videos, doing the homework, but not implementing it. You're going to make mistakes. That's okay. You're going to learn from them. I look back at some of my first messages, and I'm like, seriously, I sounded like such an asshole. Like, I can't believe what's going on. I had no clue what I was saying, but I learned from those. I figured out what works for me, what doesn't work for me. So I say, we learn by doing things, and we get better by making mistakes and moving on. So take everything that you learn, implement it right away, and don't be afraid to ask questions. I probably drove Annie and the coach group nuts asking questions, but I only asked them after I had become quite familiar with the FAQ, with the Beachbody chat, which I do all the time. They are probably going to ban me from it. And also just making myself really familiar with all of the documents that are in the coach files tab. So really just making sure that you're familiar with what's out there. And then, if things come up that you don't know, cross that bridge when you get there. There's a million people who are willing to help you. So don't feel like you have to know the answer to everything up front. Just dive in.
Great. I know I never get annoyed when my coaches ask me questions. The coaches that ask me the most questions are the ones that are having the most success, and they're the ones that I enjoy working with the most. I wouldn't say I get annoyed, but the thing that kind of makes me nervous is when I don't hear from my coaches. When they're asking me a ton of questions, I feel good about it, because I know that means they're doing things and they're coming across different things I haven't seen yet. That's a good sign. So definitely the coaches that are asking the most questions have the most success. So ask a ton of questions for sure. That's a great tip. Okay. How about, and the other thing that you reminded me of was how terrible the first messages that I sent out were when I became a coach. I once in a while, I come across them from back when I first started, and they make me cringe. They're so terrible, but hey, I learned from it,
Right, you
all
put
right.
yourself out there
Oh my
and you
God.
just didn't do those again.
Right. Yeah. Talk about embarrassing. But yeah, I definitely learned from it, which is good. So how about like the one thing that's had the biggest impact on your growth, or just a shift in mindset?
Like I said, I think it was definitely after going to Summit, seeing that, I don't want to say that, you have these people up on pedestals and then you meet them and you realize they're regular people, because I don't want to like downplay people, but
That's true.
it's, that thing that anyone can do this business if you are consistent and you put in the work. Of course, it takes time, it takes effort, but realizing that that they don't have an upper hand and that I could do that, I think made me sort of believe in myself. And then also connecting with people on the team and building those friendships, I think helps you kind of be more involved with the business. And also you have people that are helping you on those bad days. We're not in this alone. We have a whole team to support you, to help you, and then for us to do it, for each other. So I think that that's kind of part of it too, having other people to believe in you when maybe there's days you don't believe in yourself. And the commitment to the team, I think, is what sort of made me kind of have that shift as well.
Awesome. Besides getting to Summit, what are some of the ways for some of the coaches on the call to reach out to other coaches? I don't know if you've done that, but it sounds like you building relationships with other coaches on the team has had a big impact. So how would you suggest the coaches kind of do that?
To be honest, if anyone in here is in the Team Boom Coach, just Team Boom Coaches, that group, I am all over that group. If someone's posting in there, I'm commenting on it. I'm involved. Someone asks a question, I don't know it, I'm looking up, and then I'm getting back to them about it. So I would say just put yourself out there. I know sometimes it's hard to, you don't want to jump in, you don't know who's who, but just start getting involved in the groups. And then what I did is if I connected with somebody in there, then I started an offline chat with them. So just get involved in there as a starting point, and then, or just message them. That's what I do.
Great. Love it. Round of applause for Ashley Coyne. Soon to be Diamond Coach, I believe. Yeah.
By November 18th.
All right. I like it. Thank you. All right. How about Brooke Reed?
Hey, can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Okay. Hey, I'm Brooke. I am from Walpole, Massachusetts, outside of Boston. I got into the business because my husband, Casey Reed, is from Skinny Atlas. So we know all the Realmans for a while. So I had been following Annie's story, like Ashley, forever. I'd known Annie for a long time. And so finally I just decided to give it a shot.
Awesome. Cool. And so what would you say is your like top tip for coaches?
Well, I have a couple.
Right.
I've definitely noticed a little bit of a shift in my business recently. And so when you asked me to talk, there's just a couple that I really wanted to talk about. Ashley kind of already talked about one. One of them is being consistent. I know it can be difficult at times, but I think in order for you to build your tribe and to gain followers, you really need to be consistent in what you believe and what you're posting about, because people need to learn and see that you are, you're here for the long haul and that you really believe in this, so that they will follow you and trust you and want to, join your challenge group. Nobody's just going to join a challenge group or buy something from a total stranger off the internet. You really have to prove to them that you're a real person and that you really believe in this, and then they're going to want to, get to know you.
And how would you say like you would build that trust with someone that you just connected with on social media like yesterday?
Once you've already connected with them?
Yeah.
Once I connect with somebody and we are either chatting through Messenger on Facebook or Instagram, I really just start by building a relationship and having a conversation. I always ask them where they're from, what do they do? I look at their profile and try to spark conversation about that. I've been trying to get better with my hashtags and things on Instagram, so I'm trying to build a tribe of followers that have things in common with me. So I pretty much always have something to talk to them about, whether it's, their baby or where they want a vacation or their pet or whatever. And then if you don't end up talking to them about the business or a challenge group in the first couple of conversations, it's okay. You know, like you don't have to have that conversation in that initial conversation. You can always go back to them a couple of days later, and I'll just say, hey, I loved connecting with you the other day, you know, and usually in that initial conversation, it'll come up that I'm an online health and wellness coach, blah, 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 blah. So then I'll kind of come back to that. Like, hey, I know I told you about what I do online. Are you into fitness at all? And it kind of just stems from there.
Awesome. What do you say to someone to move the conversation from like Instagram over to friending each other on Facebook?
I really love, there was one Team Boom call we had, I think it was with April, and I just really loved how honest she was, and she gave some examples about what she says to people. So I do a lot of the 5-3-1s, and then actually I've recruited my husband to do a lot of 5-3-1s for me.
Can you
And
explain what a 5-3-1 is?
so a 5-3-1 is on Instagram. The idea is that if you find somebody through a hashtag or whatever, and you like 5 of their pictures, comment on 3 of them, it's bound to give you a follower. And so I do that to connect with people. What?
So you like 5 of their photos, you comment on 3 of their photos, and then that person's probably going to follow you.
Yeah. And then within my 3 comments, one of my comments, I'm saying something like, and this is what April had said, like, just be totally honest and be like, I totally love your page, or like, I totally stalked your Facebook page or your Instagram page. Like, we should totally connect on Facebook. Are you on there? And then usually there, and in your comments too, you don't want to just write like, awesome pic or good job. You want to write something that's engaging for them to kind of write back and kind of start that conversation. So usually a lot of the times people will be like, yeah, I'm on Facebook. You can find me here. Or I'll say, you can find my link in my profile. So then they come on over to Facebook, and then I accept their friend request, and then we kind of just chat from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
Another one is to make a plan, and like a daily plan. So I used to make my plan. It wasn't really much of a plan. I used to make a plan for like the whole week, and that totally didn't work. And then I think it was one of Amy's videos about how she makes her plan for the next day the night before. And that's what I've been doing. I made this like a to-do list. I'm a big visual check person. So I made this to-do list on a piece of paper, and I put it in a plastic report cover, like one of those old school, like you would hand in your essay to your teacher, a report cover. And I'm using like a wet erase marker so I could just check off when I've been doing things. And I listen to Eat That Frog or Eat Your Frog. And so I have my invites at the top, so I can't go to anything else until I've done my invites for the day, because I hate invites. And so just having that visual and being able to, check off when I've done things, it makes sure that I get everything done, but it also gets it done faster. So you don't feel like you're working on your business for like 8 hours every day when you're working full time and all you have is an hour or 2.
Right.
Really makes you get the job done.
I would definitely agree with that. Like creating a to-do list.
Yes.
And for those of you that struggle with time management, Eat That Frog.
Awesome.
That's the best book for time management, I think.
Yeah.
That's great. And then also like, along with your to-do list, do you have like kind of set business hours so that like when you wake up in the morning, you know when
I'm better. Yeah, I do. I'm better at night, but I think it's definitely important to make your business hours. I'm typically more like a 7 to 9, 7 to 10 type of person at night. I just don't have. If I'm going to do anything in the morning, I'm probably going to work out.
Gotcha. Cool. Awesome. So was it those 2, or did you have another?
So those are my 2 tips.
Okay, great.
And then my shift, I just recently put it out there that I'm pregnant. And so my why, my why has totally shifted. Well, it just got bigger. And so I guess I always thought I had a big why. I've always known that I wanted to do this business. I kind of like Sarah, just jumped right into the business. The challenge group was fun and everything, but I was in it to, because I don't want to work when I have my baby. So I always thought my why was pretty strong until I got pregnant and the clock started ticking. So does that make sense? Like, so now I'm like, not that, I can obviously still going to work past when my baby is here. But like, I really don't want to go back to work. So my why just got that much stronger. It's almost like you have to live, you have to, what did I say? You have to live, you have to use your why like your life depends on it. Like you have to have such a strong why. You can think your why is like great, but if your why is like, oh, I want to retire in 15 years, 15 years sounds really far away. So you might not work your business really hard because 15 years is just so far away. You need to work your business like your why is happening tomorrow.
Right. Now you got, like you
That's
said,
what happened for me. Like I have 6 months, the clock is ticking. So now every day it's on, like I have to do this.
yeah, backs against the wall.
Yeah, totally.
Plan A. Love it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Round of applause. We're gonna hopefully we'll have some questions. Well, I think we'll have time at the end if you guys can stick around. All right, perfect. Next, we have Kate Schwartz. Hey, Kate.
Hey, can you hear me?
We got you.
Awesome. I'm Kate. I am Amy Morgan's coach, and I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Go Steelers.
We're Dallas Cowboys fans.
Oh, you're living in the wrong city.
Yeah, we actually moved from Dallas. So my whole entire family Steelers fans. Anyways, do you just want me to start with my biggest tip?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Sarah kind of touched on this with personal development. To me, personal development is going to change not just my business, but my life. And the one thing that I think is really important as the coach, like there are all these books and recommendations that you guys have, but I think it really hits home when you find something that speaks to you with where you're at right now, what you're struggling with. And sometimes that's not always in the form of a book. I am really big at watching like videos on YouTube, and I have friends who are super inspirational, and I'm going to try and get to this without crying. We lost a very close friend of ours last week to cancer, and she was a mom to a little baby. And they had her funeral celebration service this past weekend, and her husband got up to speak, and he left. It's amazing what he had to say. And to me, that was the biggest personal development for me, because you see that we only have one life. We only have one chance, and we're going to screw up, but that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And it's not, again, that personal development and how you can grow yourself. People are able to see that while you're going through it. And that's a connection that you can make in no other way other than working on yourself. Like you can't just fake saying, I'm learning about, how to really change and better myself, because it's going to show whether or not you're really doing it or not. So that was my top tip. And this business is inevitable. It'll happen. You just have to be consistent.
Hashtag inevitable.
So that's my biggest tip. I've only been a coach since July. Was when I started with my challenge pack. So I'm still new to all of this as well.
Well, it's pretty cool you're like on a call right now. I wouldn't have done that in my first few months as a coach. No way.
I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie.
You don't sound like it.
Well, thanks. I'm trying to think. I wrote down notes. I know that you asked for us to share also about are the biggest impact that we've had or something that's really changed. Mine has to be both my mother and my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is over 300 pounds, and she has diabetes. And she has not been able to control that with insulin. The doctors don't know anything to do. She is not a very consistent person either. She picks something up and does it for like a week or two, and then she stops. And so when I was going through my challenge, and I shared with her about Shakeology, and she was like, it's not going to work. The insulin won't even keep my sugars below 400. And I sent her a bag, and I said, just try it, see what happens. And she called me in 2 weeks, and she said, Kate, I've lost 15 pounds. I haven't done anything else. And even bigger, awesome thing was that her sugar levels for the first time in 4 years were under 200. And she had not changed anything else. And to me, that was like, Shakeology is like, it's the shit. Let's tell everybody about it.
It's the shit. All she did, she just replaced one meal a day with Shakeology.
That's all she did. And she didn't exercise, which I'm trying to work on her. She's in Texas still, so I can't like drive to her house. That to me, to just realize that this business isn't just about selling things. We have the power to really change people's life through either exercise or Shakeology or personal development. There are so many avenues that you can use this business for. And that was a huge motivator for me, because I know that my mother-in-law is not the only person out there who's struggling with their health. And her doctors are still like, we can't figure out why this is working, but keep doing it, because obviously the insulin wasn't working.
And you're like, Shakeology is the shit.
Exactly. So
cool. What we talked a little bit about this earlier. Like, what is your why? Now, something that's personal to like you and your family.
My why is to get my husband home. We're going to celebrate our 10-year anniversary next June, and we have 2 little ones. He works 60 plus hours a week, and this is the first year that he's worked on a job that he's been able to stay home for holidays. And he works manual labor, so there's a lot that has to do with his health that he's not willing to admit that it's playing a part. So my why is to get his butt home. My kids deserve it. He deserves it. And that's kind of our little family why. And my next why is we want to be able to help people without having to worry about the financial part of our life. Like, to just be able to give, to be able to reach out to our community. And this business gives you that opportunity. And it's so easy. Like we talked about on the phone, this is so simple. This business is so simple. You just have to be consistent and you have to put the work in. But you're not inventing a wheel. You're not inventing some new business program type. I mean, it's all there for you. You just have to type it out, copy, paste, and be real with people. So.
And it's inevitable.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Cool. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Can you stick around for a little bit? I think we got one more, and then we're going to open it up to questions.
Yeah.
Cool. Is Crystal on the call?
Yep, I'm here. How are you?
Awesome.
Hi guys.
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
All the way from Nebraska?
Yep, all the way from Nebraska.
Good. Do you know Kelly Marks and Jill Wagner?
I know Jill a little bit, not well. No.
They're both from Nebraska, but don't hold that against them.
But,
Actually, Kelly's on the call. I can see her with her new baby. Hey, Kelly. I think this might be Kelly's first call back on a Zoom call since she gave birth.
oh wow.
And you got a little one of your own too.
Yep, he's right here. He's with me tonight, so hopefully this goes well.
So how long have you been a coach, and kind of how did you hear about it?
I got invited into a challenge. I did one challenge, and then I was offered the discount approach, and I kind of wanted to know a little bit more about the business and got into it that way. I actually did my first challenge at the end of June, and I signed up as a coach at the end of July.
Awesome.
So right after Summit happened and all that awesomeness, and I was totally inspired to be there next year.
And
So that was
and you earned
cool,
your
right
ticket.
out. Yes.
Hit Success Club your first 3 months, won your free ticket to Summit next year.
Yep, and that is actually probably my big turning point. Like, I've been kind of all in since I signed up. I knew that this was something that I wanted to do because I had already quit my job to spend more time with my kid, and I just decided that being at home and working from home would be the best way to go. And I earned the group call from Carl Deichler the first month and got Success Club. And then once I got Success Club the second month and the third month, then I earned my free ticket to Summit.
Awesome. That's awesome. Cool. So from a challenge group member to a discount coach to hitting Success Club your first month, getting that call with Carl Deichler, and then hitting Success Club your first 3 months, winning the free summit ticket. And now you're kind of using that momentum, and you're still hitting Success Club, pushing forward, signing coaches of your own now, which is cool.
Yep.
So what would you say is like your top tip for your coaches and for any coach?
I would have to say being authentically you and just being genuine as like how you represent yourself on social media and, you know, just in your everyday lives. Like, just be who you are and let that shine. Like, I grew up on a farm, and I kind of relate that back to the Beachbody lifestyle because they're both lifestyles to me, and I just, like, they go hand in hand to me. So I just go with it.
How would you say that like that lifestyle of living on a farm goes hand in hand with the Beachbody lifestyle or the coaching lifestyle?
Probably the biggest part of that would probably be the consistency, just showing up every day. You have to, in both aspects of my life, you have to be there every day. If things don't get done, there's nobody else that's going to do them for you, and they have to get done. So you just get up, you do it, and you hope for the best.
No excuses. I like it.
Yeah.
We need more farmers as coaches. That mentality is great. Okay, so what would you say, you kind of touched on it, but what would you say like has had the biggest impact, maybe the biggest shift in your business? What was that like one thing that might have happened?
With being a success starter, like I learned about, getting leads from Beachbody and just trying to connect with those people, and it's been trial and error. Like, I don't get replies from everyone. Some people just kind of want to do it themselves. So you just kind of have to reach out to them. If they reach back, great. If not, then, try, a couple times and don't stalk them, but just do what you can and forget the rest. Yeah.
Right. So you've been it's worked out pretty well, like reaching out, hitting Success Club. For those that don't know, when you make Success Club 5, then the next month Beachbody gives you customers, like people that ordered a workout program. They assign those customers to a coach that hit Success Club 5 the previous month, which is great. That's how some of my coaches were actually customer leads, like Joe Policino is one of them, and Jakin and Nick Waltz. And then if you hit Success Club 10, then they also give you Shakeology customers in addition to the regular customers. So if you hit Success Club 10 this month, then next month you get the customers that are just buying workout programs, and you also get Shakeology customers as well, and you get the commission that comes along with their Shakeology order, which is pretty cool. So, Crystal, you've had people that have reached back out to you once you've reached out to them, the leads?
Like I've said, I've only been doing this for 3 or 4 months, but the ones that I have talked to, like, I'll still talk to them occasionally. But I know one person that I talked to, he hadn't tried Shakeology, and I encouraged him to try it. And I see he's ordered again. He hasn't reached back to me lately, but I have been working on that.
Gotcha. Cool. I love it. All right. So Sarah, Brooke, Ashley, Kate, and Crystal. Round of applause for Crystal and the rest of the gang. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to share with the rest of the team. You guys are inspiring us. We got 15 minutes to take some questions for the 5 emerging leaders. So what questions do you guys have for them? Just unmute yourself and go for it. Or if you
I have
feel
a
more
question.
go for it. I was going to say, if you feel more comfortable, you can type your question in the chat too. But all right, you can ask your question.
Yeah, my question is really, what would you say is the average like response time that you would wait before you reach back out to a person like say I, send an invite or just, talk to someone today and I don't hear from them for 2 days, would that be a good amount of time, or would I do the next day, or, what's worked best for you guys?
I do like 36 to 48 hours max.
Okay.
Yeah, like if I did it, if I reached out like a morning, I would do like the next night or the morning after that. But I never go more than 48 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Awesome. How about the rest of you guys? About the same? 48 hours?
I do the same. I
Sorry.
usually go ahead.
Go ahead, Jane.
I was gonna say if they don't respond the next time you you email them a private message, sometimes going under their Facebook page and just liking one of their photos or even commenting on their wall, like, hey, I'm just checking in, wanted to see how you're doing. I sent you a message. Sometimes people and I'm guilty of it too, they go into their messages and they think that, or they see that you've responded and they're like, oh, I'll respond later, and then they completely forget. So sometimes they just need that visual reminder.
Sometimes what I'll do is I'll follow up after 48 hours, and then if I don't hear back from them, I will follow up again after another 48 hours. And usually by then they're like, oh yeah, sorry, I totally forgot, just like forgot about you.
Yeah, people are busy. Like when they read your message the first time, they're probably like driving at the same time, or they're in line at the grocery store, their kids are screaming or something, and they mean to respond, but they don't. So following up is huge. Like wait 48 hours, follow up. Just let them know that you didn't want them to miss out by mistake and you wanted to just reach out to them. And then if they don't respond again, give them a second chance. Do that second follow-up. It's amazing how many people respond to that second and last follow-up. And that second one, I always say something like, hey, I just wanted to reach out one more time. I won't bug you after this, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss you by mistake. Just let me know if you're still interested. And it's crazy how many people get back and say, oh, no, I definitely want to do it. Sorry. I think just saying that this is the last time you're going to reach out to them, it like kind of creates that sense of urgency again and gets them to respond. It's pretty crazy. Cool. Any other questions?
I totally agree with that.
Oh, all right.
I totally agree with what Patrick just said, because that's actually how I got signed up for the challenge track. It was a really busy time in June, and I was like, okay, I'll just get back to her later, and she was persistent and asked me, last time, didn't want me to miss out. So I was like, oh yeah, no, I definitely do. I just haven't had time. So,
Same here. I was like a no the first time my buddy asked me to do anything, and then he had to follow up with me a few times before I did it. So I know that's kind of how it works. Awesome. Any other questions?
I have Sarah Korbecki is here with me, and she had a question for Crystal. She wanted to know what does she find the most successful way in reaching out to the leads?
So, like if I post on social media and like I get a lot of likes, or consistently have the same person liking my post, I'll be, just send them a private message and just say, hey, I saw you liked my post, and I was just curious if you'd be at all interested, and I can give you some more details.
Well, what about like the Beachbody leads?
Your free lead.
What's that?
Yeah, the free leads from Success Club.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
The free, they're just curious, how you reach out to the leads that Beachbody gives you. Do you email them,
okay.
text them?
Yep. I usually start with an email. I've had probably better success with like a text message to them. A lot of them will have their phone number in there. And I got basically the conversation starter from our script in our files in our coach group. So it was just a stock, hey, so-and-so, my name is Crystal, I'm your free Beachbody coach, what are your eating habits like? I'd love to connect with you. I have a link to my Facebook page if they're interested for that, and just, kind of just a warm, inviting conversation starter.
Cool. So texting would be where you get your better results from.
Yeah.
I also find them on Facebook, which I think is helpful sometimes. I used to just kind of search for them, but I forget who. I'm sorry, I forget who it was. But somebody said if you take their email that's in your back office that's connected to their customer ID, and you input that into Facebook, into like the search bar in Facebook, if it's the same email address, it'll pop up, so you can find them pretty fast. So then that way you're friends, and then they can start following your posts and things. So even if they're not interested in your help right away, they might be interested, down the line.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I typically email the day that I see them show up in my online office. I email them that day. Later in the day, I typically friend them on Facebook if I can find them. And then maybe 2 days later is when I send them a text message. And I've had pretty good success typically with the text message after I've sent the other things. I'm not sure if it's that they've read the email and then got the text, but typically the text is where I get the most response.
Awesome. Great. Okay, so someone posted a question. The first part of it is, how do you get someone to commit to a challenge pack versus just a workout program? And then the second question is, how do you get your challenge group members to actively participate? And you guys want to take that?
I can jump in. I answered a little bit in the chat just about, because I do have some people who don't participate in the challenge group, and that's okay. Some people aren't comfortable in the big group setting. So in that case, I message them privately and just ask them how it's going. If they don't seem to be really engaging with me, I just am pretty open with them and ask them like, hey, I know you wanted to work on and, reshare their goals and say, how can I best support you during this journey? How can we work together to do this if I'm not getting a response from tagging them or just messaging them?
Right. Which is another great reason to make sure you're asking people their goals and their struggles and things like that before they even commit to a challenge pack. So then you can remind them of that later on when they're struggling. Cool. Any of the rest of you guys? How do you guys any little tips on when you're talking to someone who just wants a workout program versus a challenge pack, or any tips on how to increase participation in your challenge groups?
Recently what we've been doing, if someone's having someone's not quite ready to commit to the challenge pack, they like the program idea, and you've kind of, maybe pulled out all the stops, you've really gotten their goals down, you've tried to share the value of it. We've been doing group messages with a couple of other coaches, or even some customers that have used the programs and really like them, and just ask them to share what their experience is. And typically I say, obviously you've heard my experience, but I would love for you to hear from a couple of other people. And then I try to put them on a message with a few people I think that they could relate to, similar to what we do with the coaching opportunity, but just do it for a fitness program in Shakeology.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And the other four, what do you get? Any tips on helping people to see the value in a challenge pack versus just the workout program, or tips on how to increase participation in your challenge groups?
Sometimes I have something that Amy posted a while back about, how much, when you break it down, how much the Shakeology really is per day. And then, how much it is versus a gym membership, and that you can get to continue to use the DVDs instead of going back to the gym, and a little script that I have saved on my phone that I use that works sometimes. And then I definitely make a connection and create a relationship with my challengers. So, they don't feel like they're just, one of 30 in this challenge group, but I text with them every day. So that they feel like, we're like besties for that month. So I think that helps too. And then like Ashley said, we do that together, messaging other people to share their stories and their, what they've gotten out of the challenge pack.
Awesome. Great.
I was going to say something about having participation in challenge groups. I find that sometimes, and this might be completely wrong, but it's worked for me, posting random dub smash videos, like to try and get people out of their shell to interact with the rest of the group, because normally when you're in the challenge group, it's really hard to open yourself up to other people. Like the people that are in your challenge group know you, but they don't know everybody else who's in there. So trying to kind of like icebreakers, getting to know each other the week before you do the challenge, the actual, like you're starting your workout and that kind of stuff. Just kind of to see if there's somebody who pairs up. Like I had one challenge group and there were 2 moms who had kids around the same age and they lived close to each other. And so I put them on a group message together with me and I said, hey, you guys live really close to each other. It might be fun to do a workout together with the kids, and kind of help them build those relationships so that they're invested in that challenge group. And it's not just them by themselves, sometimes emailing you or looking what's in the group. So that's
a good idea.
Yeah, I like that dub smash idea. I know you're like a dub smash celebrity.
It's sad.
It's sad how good you are. Is that what you're saying at the dub smash?
Yeah.
I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to have like a dub smash day in my challenge groups, I think. I like that idea.
It works. Instagram helps a lot too. I actually had 2 challengers from posting a dub smash video.
Really?
Yes.
Did you like say something about your challenge group in the post?
I posted one on Instagram and I said, this is the kind of support that you'll get from me. And it was a dub smash video of Eminem. So you never know what's going to speak to some people.
Yeah, I guess so. And that goes back to like Crystal's tip. Just be authentic, be yourself.
Yeah.
That's cool. One thing I'll say is I let people into my challenge groups sometimes, even if they don't buy a challenge pack and they just want a program, or maybe they already have the program and got it from a friend or got it through Amazon, or maybe they even burned it or something like that. Like I'll still get them my 21-day challenge and I'll still try to give them the best experience I can. I
do that too, Pat. I just actually, a girl that I met through doing Facebook invites of suggested friends, she just wanted to do the 21-day fix, not with the challenge pack. And normally I'm like, no, you have to get the challenge pack, but I let her do that. And then from us posting so much in the group, she was like, I need Shakeology like now. And so she just signed up as a coach with a challenge pack today. So, yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what I was going to say. Thank you for saying that.
Sorry, I stole it.
No, but it's true. I mean, I could care less about like a $50 commission off of someone buying a challenge pack. If they already got the program, I'm going to get them into my group and give them a great experience. And like you said, they're going to see other people talking about Shakeology, and they might even decide they want to become a coach and give that same experience to other people. And one thing that's really made a huge difference as far as participation in my challenge groups is every day just posting a little consistency award. And all you got to do, doesn't have to be fancy, just has everyone's name and a number next to their name that represents how many times they've commented with their workout during that challenge. So every day I post a photo that says the day of the week and what was your workout today? And then every day it's a little post that has everyone's name and a number next to their name. It's amazing how much more consistent people stay in the group when they have a number next to their name that tells them how often they've commented with their workout. You guys following that? That thing is like gold. All right, 9 o'clock. So another round of applause for our Team Boom Emerging Leaders. Thank you guys again for taking the time to share and inspire us. And we're going to give you guys a little boom on 3, and then we're out of here. All right? So I'm going to unmute.
My heart hurts. What time did you work?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I love it.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.